All right, on my last video, we stopped right here. I didn't point out that this O-ring likes to fall off. Just make sure you don't lose it. It goes on the back of the fluid block to keep the air from leaking out the back there. So just make sure you don't lose that. I've had several people lose those. But to remove the mixing chamber, they do give you a small wrench to hold on a couple of flat spots on the piston shaft. But when you do loosen it, my suggestion is grab on the unfinished sides if you have to have a wrench to loosen it. And another point, these do not have to be torqued real tight on here. They don't need to be super loose, but they don't have to be torqued real tight, because a lot of people break the thread on the end of this. But to remove it, you simply unthread it to take the mixing chamber off. And after that, we're ready to pull the piston off the handle. And the way I do that is, first I will take my safety button off. They give you a little Allen wrench, and there's two little set screws. You can see the holes for them that hold the safety button onto the end cap or the safety pin shaft. So you could just stick your little Allen wrench in there and loosen those up a little bit. You don't have to take them out, just loosen them up just like this. And then the safety button will come right off, and then there's a little assist spring right there, safety button spring. You take that out, and that exposes these Allen screws here really nice. So first I loosen these top two here. I don't take these all the way out, it's not necessary, but you just want to loosen these up so it has freedom to move. And then there's one on the back here, you want to loosen it up. You don't have to remove it all the way. I've never had to really clean this gun, but I just loosen it up to make sure that this piece is going to be able to move around freely, so it doesn't hold the back of that gun in. So just loosen them up enough where that's nice and loose. The real screws that hold it down are right here on both sides of that. So you have to take these screws all the way out. I like that they do include this T-handle if you buy the whole box. If you buy just the gun, you won't get these tools, but if you buy the whole box, you get the tools and an extra O-ring kit. But there's the two screws that come out, and then this will just completely come off. Here's another, it actually fell off in my hand, little O-ring that sits right here in this handle. I want to make sure that you understand that that is a loose O-ring. Once you take that off, it seals off from that hole to there, so make sure you don't lose that O-ring. So you've got your piston housing here. This is where all the action of the air is happening to make the piston go back and forth. Air goes in this hole right here and causes the piston to go back, and then when you release the trigger, air is going in this hole, pushing the piston forward, and then this other side, air is constantly blowing through there. And that's one of the trouble problems if you cross over a gun well enough that I'm going to show you. So to remove this, you have to have a pair of these pliers. If you buy a rig from me, I always include them. Snap ring pliers. There is a snap ring in the back of this. And of course, let's see if I can get this out first try. Nope. That's the way this goes. But you pull your snap ring out, and then this end cap, simply just kind of rock it back and forth a little bit. You don't want to be too rough with it, but it'll pop out. That's your end cap. And before I go any further, I'll just show you the end cap, and then you have your safety pin. And when you push in and twist to the right, it sticks it out like that where the piston can't come back very far. But you push in, twist to the left, it sinks back in this little slot. So this is your end cap O-ring, and then you have your safety pin U-cup seal right there inside there. And you got to make sure the lips on that thing is facing the right way, so remember how it comes out. But that's your end cap and safety pin. Then you have a spring here that's going inside your backside of your piston that kind of helps push it forward when you release the trigger. That's just an assist. And then you have your piston. I usually put this face down on something sturdy and push down a little bit to get it started. Now, a lot of times I'll just take this T-handle and put it right on the tip of the piston shaft and push it through. Real simple. It comes out. This is your piston. Right here, this is your piston shaft. And notice how it's got a little clip here. This shaft is threaded into the piston, and that clip is set where it's supposed to be. You don't want to over tighten this for several reasons. You don't want to bend it, and you don't want to pop this loose and make this thread in too far or not be threaded in far enough. This is set so when the mixing chamber is threaded on here, it's at the right distance from the side seals to work properly. So it's very important that you leave this here and not take this apart if you don't absolutely have to. So that's how the piston comes out of the gun, and I've already explained where the air goes. But there is one place, you see where the mixing chamber is, it's screwed onto the piston shaft right here in the gun, and if you cross over the mixing chamber and foam gets back in here, the first thing it's going to clog up is that hole that blows air through the tip to purge your gun. So you got to know where this spot is. You have to get to this hole. It actually goes in this hole and then down the neck a little bit and does a 90-degree turn to blow air out. So they put you a little set screw right here that you can remove, and it's not to clean that hole that screw is in, it's to clean a hole on the other side of the neck. Let me see if I can position this. So this is just an access point, and you really are trying to clean a hole right across from it. And so you have to clean down in this hole right here, and then take that set screw out and clean across the neck on the hole over there. And then notice down in there, you see that little black dot right there? That's another set screw you have to take out, and you have to clean down in it to be able to make sure that the air is getting all the way down the neck. Because like I said, that air flows right through a little channel right in the neck right here. So you just have to make sure you remove these screws and remove that screw down in there and run your drill bit in there. Please do not use a cordless drill. Do this stuff by hand. They give you drill bits that fit everything that's long enough to get in there. So I'm just advising you, people that have used cordless drills will ruin their guns because this is aluminum. This is steel, and steel will win every time. But that's how you take the piston apart, and that's one of the trouble spots. If you cross over bad enough, that's one of the first places it's going to clog up. And simple, if you get it in your grease fitting here, you just unthread that. You can clean that out pretty easily in just a hole that's just directly in there. No big deal on that. But this one spot, I wanted to make sure I explained it well, how that works. So next, we'll take apart the handle on the next video.